Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Classic Live Album War. Today we've got two stellar single LP, single CD sets released in the late 70s, 77, 79, from two amazing bands that kind of really took off here in the U.S. especially. One's a British band, one's from Canada. Okay, both playing a style of just good hard rock and boogie. Okay, we've got Foghat live, that one right there. Okay, and the other Pat Travers band live, Go For What You Know. All right, we're going to talk about the Foghat album first, because that was released first. Again, a single LP set recorded in 1977 at the Dome Arena in Henrietta, New York. I live in New York. I don't know where the hell Henrietta is, to be honest with you. Released August 19th of 1977. All right, here we have the lineup of Lonesome Dave Peverett on lead vocals, rhythm guitar, Rod Price on lead slide guitar, backing vocals, Craig McGregor, bass guitar, backing vocals, and Roger Earl on drums. Okay, for a lot of people, the most memorable Foghat album, but man, it's only got 6 tunes. Where's the rest of it, right? Saw that a lot in the 70s. You had bands pumping out live albums, but not really containing a full concert. All right, so this is a perfect example of what it is, kicks ass, but you're left wanting more, right? Starts off with Fool for the City, and a lot of these live tracks on here, these are the definitive versions of these songs, in my opinion. Home in My Hand, great, rousing tune. I Just Want to Make Love to You, old Willie Dixon classic, 8+ minutes here, fantastic. Heavy, blazing slide guitars, okay? Thumping rhythms, love it. Then on side 2, you got the crazy Road Fever. All right, Honey Hush. Listen to that song, tell me you hear another one. All right, very similar to another old bluesy track. Then you've got, finishing the album, you got Slow Ride, 8 minutes and change. Again, the definitive version of Slow Ride, perhaps. Okay. Tons of boogie on here, almost like Southern rock in spots, even though these guys weren't from the South, obviously. Wonderful guitar playing from Mr. Price. Love Dave's vocals. It's just a rollicking, raucous, furious live album that, again, you get done listening to it and you're like, oh, God, I could go for another half hour of this, right? It's that damn good. Same can be said for Go For What You Know from the Pat Travers Band. Again, recorded January and February 79, out on tour, released later that year, 1979. This contains probably the definitive version of the Pat Travers Band. Pat on guitar and vocals. Pat Thrall on guitar and backing vocals. Mars Cowling on bass, the amazing Mars Cowling on bass. And, of course, the legendary drummer, Tommy Aldridge. We kind of forget like all those great bands that Tommy Aldridge was in, all right, over the years. Okay, Pat Travers, Black Oak, Arkansas, obviously Ozzy Osbourne, Whitesnake, the list goes on and on. I mean, Tommy has like been like one of the greatest drummers of the last like 40 years, you know, kind of quietly almost, right? So what do we got on this great live album? Again, for my money, some of the cream of the early Pat Travers catalog on here, and these are, without a doubt, the definitive versions of them. It's just, you know what, there's something about Travers and Thrall together with that rhythm section. Magic, okay? There's a tune on this album called Making Magic. They made magic on here, right? So we got Hooked on Music starting it all off. Again, blazing. Love Pat's killer tone on the solo on this song. And the funky rhythms. You know, this guy, the Pat Travers Band, their music kind of hard to classify. It's hard rock, yes. It's blues rock, yes. But there's always been like this kind of like little funk underpinning, especially like the late 70s and the early 80s music. Okay, Getting Better follows. Again, another track that just like, you know, bursting with funky firepower, but hard rock muscle. Go All Night. Okay, Boom Boom, Out Go the Lights, the big hit from this album. Ironically, my least favorite song from this album. I just, you know, and this has nothing to do with I heard it a million times. I have, but I really never really got Boom Boom, Out Go the Lights. Never got like why everybody, you know, instantly thinks of Pat Travers and they think of that song. It's okay. It's got so many better songs. And it's like kind of like the Thin Lizzy thing. You know, The Boys Are Back in Town. Good song, but not even close to being the best from that band. I feel the same way about Boom Boom, Out Go the Lights. All right, so much better material on this album. My least favorite song on this album. Side 2, Stevie. A heart-wrenching Stevie. Great, great tune. Love the kind of delayed guitar passages in the beginning. Just fantastic song. Making Magic, okay, obviously funk and roll. Heat in the Street, and then finishing it all off, might be my favorite song on this album. It's one of my favorite Travers songs. Makes No Difference. Just a lot of great kind of stop and start, complex rhythms and things. It's just a great song. Great lead guitar synergy from both bands. Fantastic. So 2 really great live albums that, you know, perfectly kind of personify that era of the live album. You know, especially, I think we can probably all agree that most of the most well-known live albums ever released in rock and roll kind of came from, like, you know, you can go early in the decade 1970, but I think, you know, from like 73, 74 through 79, we saw a lot of them and some really seminal works. But in reality, it's 70 through 79. That was the era of the live album. And these 2 really were 2 of the best that came later in the decade. Okay, along with like Scorpions and Rainbow and UFO and Thin Lizzy and all that kind of stuff. So we had some really, really killer ones. Robin Trower, from 75 through 79. All right, these are 2 of the best. Ted Nugent comes to mind, Aerosmith, you know, so many of them. But of course, we come to the part of the video where I've got to pick my favorite of these 2. Really, no question for me. Okay, it's this one. Pat Travers Band Live, Go For What You Know. One of my favorites. Okay, easily for me a top 10, top 20 live album of all time. I love this too, and this is up there as well. But I love this just that much better. So for me, it's a spirited battle in this little boxing analogy that I use. A spirited battle for about 10 rounds. But then we've got a killer uppercut that comes out of nowhere from Pat Travers. Pat Thrall then lays a haymaker of a left onto the chin of Dave Peverett, and down goes Foghat. Referee counts to 10. Fight over. Pat Travers Band reigns supreme. 10th round knockout, but it was a drag-out battle along the entire 10 rounds, okay? But the winner, for me, is Pat Travers Band. Your opinion may differ, and that's fine. Remember, there's no right or wrong answer here. It's all what we prefer, what we like, which one we like more, that whole thing. But, of course, the end goal here is to crown your favorite live album of all time. That's why we're doing this tournament. So in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a little white circle with a letter I in it. If you don't see it, get your cursor, rub your mouse over in that upper right-hand corner. It'll appear there. Okay, click on that. You can vote for Pat Travers or Foghat. The winner, after 6 days, we're going to stop taking the votes on here on YouTube and on Facebook. The winner moves on to round 3 in our tournament. We'll fight another day. The loser is only a loser for this fun little tournament because neither one is a loser, right? Because these are both great albums. We can both agree on that, and we'll all be enjoying these for the rest of our lives. That's the important thing, and I think that's also the main point of this whole exercise of doing this show and this tournament is to get people back to listening to these great live albums again, and to get the people who haven't heard some of these great live albums to go out and check them out, right? So this is on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, of course. We're here on Twitter as well, and here on YouTube every damn day. Tune in tomorrow for 2 more classic live album wars coming up. Right, we're going to rampage through round 2. We should be finishing up round 2 in roughly about 2 weeks. Okay, we'll see how it goes. If I can squeeze in a little bit quicker so we can get started on round 3. The end goal is to hopefully finish up the tournament by the holidays, and if it works out, great. I would love to do the final 2 on either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. That's what I would love to do. If I can somehow make that happen, I will. Can't guarantee it's going to have to kind of wait and see how this bracket is kind of finishing up when I get done with round 2, how many are left for round 3, how many days we have left in the year to kind of squeeze it all in. It may not work out that great, but that would be the best if we can do it. But we'll see how it goes, all right? So thanks again, guys. Remember, subscribe, tell your friends, and we'll see you tomorrow, all right? Have a good one. Bye-bye.